Giving birth at home felt like the only option for this couple back in May. Jessica Nixon and her husband Clive never considered having a midwife deliver their first child instead of a doctor until the coronavirus began spreading in the US.
I think because of the pandemic, it made that decision for me.
Despite the risks of home birth, it felt safer to them than going to a hospital.
At first, we were very skeptical about whether we should do it or not. And like she said, that the whole hospital scene is what everyone sort of thinks of.
But the option of home birth is now a growing trend across the country.
Prior to COVID, I would say I was receiving maybe a half a dozen calls a week, depending on the week. And when COVID hit, I was receiving that in one day. So it was a huge increase.
It's 9 a.m. and Jessica's contractions have started. Their midwife, Galena Hinckley, is here, helping them get prepared. So far, the contractions are mild. Jessica stretches and plays music to keep the mood calm.
For me, this was like a whole new experience. It felt almost concierge-like, very tailored for you.
I want it to stay in the normal range of 120 to 160. So any fluctuation in between there is fine. Usually they stay close to their range.
The midwife and the birth assistant come prepared. They carry oxygen, resuscitation equipment, IV fluids, antibiotics, suture equipment, standard birth supplies, and their herbs and homeopathic treatments. At home, Jessica can have both her husband and her mom around, and that is a privilege in a pandemic because many hospitals aren't allowing it.
Having her there was a very important thing for me, and I wouldn't want to deprive her of that experience either.
These are some of the reasons why birthing centers like Peaceful Pregnancy Pathways have received more than triple the amount of inquiries than they had at the same time last year.
Just keep telling yourself how strong you are. You are strong as your little baby who's working just as hard.
They are afraid of the new policies that the hospitals have put into place because of COVID, where their partner may not be able to be there, or their doula can't be there, or they have to be masked, or the baby and them will be separated. So they have genuine fears of that.
15 hours have passed since Jessica's contractions first started. Galena fills up the birthing pool that should help ease the pain.
She's wanting a very natural process, and she wanted that from the beginning. And so that's one of the reasons why we were comfortable taking her on late in care, is because she was already planning that natural birth and not wanting a lot of intervention, only when necessary. And that's kind of our philosophy as midwives, is really allowing the natural birth process to go and only stepping in when we see that it would help benefit mom or baby.
But there are risks. Between 23 and 37% of women attempting a home birth for the first time end up transferring to a hospital. And the death rates among babies born at home is twice the rate of those in hospitals.
The goal of being in a hospital setting is to have a safety net. 99% of the time during a normal pregnancy and labor, everything goes just fine and there's very little that needs to be done. But in the instance where things are not going well, you do have an unanticipated problem or you have an emergency that you have to deal with, time is really of the essence, and you don't really have a lot of wiggle room there to make quick decisions that need to be made to ensure the safety and the health and the well-being of the mom and the baby.
It's progressing. It's a lot of work.
And after 30 hours in labor, the couple did second-guess their decision.
The baby's in a funny position. That doesn't help. You take another deep breath. Do it again. Hold it while you still have the contractions. That's it. That is it.
Oh, here he comes.
Awesome. You're doing it. Down legs. Deep breath in. Hard, 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 hard.
This wants the baby out.
Well, yeah. Me too.
coming, he's coming.
Wipe your face towel.
It was an amazing experience, and it's just, that's like life right there, just coming out and being able to pass him on to her and, you know, cut the cord.
You're such a good little guy.
Yeah.
Look how cute you are. I'm really proud of you, Jessica. It was long and you did not complain.
Baby Grayson is born without any complications.
Hi, baby. Hi. Heart rate strong, 150.
Galena takes his measurements and his weight and makes sure everything is just right. She'll continue to assess both mom and newborn for several hours after the birth.
I think it's great that the rise of awareness of home birth is there. I just wish people researched it more. I want people to really understand how safe and normal it is to have a baby when you're a low-risk woman, and how trained a midwife is. I don't want it to have such a stigma on home births, and only in an emergency we're like the last resort. It shouldn't be that way.
So emotional. I mean, they tell you, they prepare you that it's an emotional experience. It's painful. It's, you know, a rush of emotions. And it was nothing but happiness and like being on cloud nine. And like at that point, nothing hurt. All the pain went away immediately. Like 36 hours of contractions every 2 to 5 minutes that last about a minute and a half, you know, all that out the window, you know. It's just things that you can't do in the hospital. That was my like takeaway from this experience. It was amazing, and we got this little guy.